Hendo here with Average Use Slow-Pitch. Today we're bringing out the brand new ACX-7 Tech Anarchies. We've got a Atomic. This is going to be a 13-inch barrel, 1 ounce end load. We've got a Syndicate. This is a 12-inch barrel, 1/2 ounce end load. And then we got the all-new one-piece Streets. This is a 12.5-inch barrel, 1 ounce end load. So we're going to go ahead, do the test on them, assuming they start somewhere around that 250 to 265, 70 range. We'll probably get about 50 swings on each. Do the velo, and then final compression, final thoughts. Obviously, if any of these start 275 plus, we'll get a few extra swings to kind of bring that down. Make sure we're getting that kind of no kidding performance of what you should see around kind of that game ready status. So we'll go ahead, like I said, all DeMarini Razzle Pro M's what we've got in the bag today, sitting with kind of just your standard Pro M ball. So no hard cores, nothing harder than that, nothing mushy. We swap these balls out pretty often as well, just to kind of keep that game type ball performance so that you can see kind of what you'd be getting. Obviously, if you end up using the hard cores, just know they're gonna fly better than what you're seeing out here. So what you see out here, your performance is going to go up if you switch those hard cores at that point. So Apodaca baseball field, you've seen us out here a lot at this point. You'll see dimensions on the field now. Our goal here is, again, to get those swings before the wind kicks up. So we're going to go ahead, get moving real quick, get that done, come back, final thoughts. All right, let's go ahead and test our new ACX-7 Tech Anarchies. Up first is the Atomic. This is that 13-inch barrel, 1 ounce end load. Got that centered up there. We'll show the calibration disc here at the end, just because we do that with all of them. Sitting right there on 0. And we're sitting right at 250, maybe slightly above, which is pretty much what we've heard about these, pretty game ready, but I've also heard they kind of hold pretty well. So excited to see how that goes. Next up, the Syndicate 12-inch barrel, 1/2 ounce end load. That's written right there on the barrel for you, in case you ever forget when you purchase one of these, or if you have one of these. Again, we're doing USSSA stamp up with all the bats just for consistency purposes. We rotate if any of these kind of fail or anything like that. That's it at 0. Yeah, and pretty much checks from what we've heard on that one, 250. With it being new in wrapper though, I always like to give a little bit of that kind of break-in crunch you heard kind of with the test, so I will quarter turn this one. Again, not because it failed or anything like that, but just to make sure that we're getting what we need from the test. There's that 0. Yeah, and you can see it gives us about 5-ish PSI more sometimes here and there. But either way, right at 250, 255 for the two pieces. And then the one that I'm probably most excited about, just because it seems like the one pieces have kind of taken over the USSSA game lately with performance. We've got the new Streets. This is a 12.5-inch barrel. Again, this one's a lower on the handle, I don't know if you can see that or not, but 1 ounce end load on this one. So USSSA stamp up. Get that in place. There we go. Make sure we're not touching any walls. 0. There's a nice crunch there as well. And still puts us right at about 260. Again, I'll just quarter turn one time on these brand new ones. Make sure the tests are accurate. But saw Brandon Street swinging this one down at the Texas Legends, and this thing sounds like a shotgun. Real excited to get some swings on it. And yeah, there it is, about 260, 265. So let's go ahead and get some swings on these, see how they perform. We'll come back with, once compression's done, we'll come back with final compression and final thoughts. All right, we're gonna go ahead, start here with the Anarchy Atomic. Again, this is the 13-inch barrel, 1 ounce end load. So we'll get some swings on it. Once myself, a junior, swing this one, we'll move over to the Syndicate. Once we're at the Syndicate, we'll move over to Streets as one piece. And then from there, come back, velo all of them, compression, final thoughts. It's a nice first swing on a line to left center. Big. The sweet, yeah, it's got a great sound, and the sweet spot so far, again, 3-4 swings in, it doesn't take a lot of effort. You just kind of get your hands through the zone, let it kind of use that sweet spot for the performance.
No kidding.
That's one good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall good sound, good feel on the hands. Sweet spot seems like it's coming off pretty good. It's definitely coming off with a lot of speed just from my naked eye. We'll get to velo here in a little bit, but Atomic feels good. That 1 ounce end load definitely helps get through the zone. You've kind of seen with both guys swinging, it hasn't taken a whole lot of effort so far, but we'll get a few more at the Atomic, move on to the Syndicate.
That's the best part of it all. We'll be waiting all day.
I mean, Well, there's our sweet spot. A little bit of lift. I don't have a ball mark to exactly where that caught, but it felt slightly high of center, maybe the OM atomic, and that ball just flew off in the top of our trees. So again, this 1 ounce end load, if you like the heavier end loads, this is what you're gonna want. It doesn't feel excessive, but it's heavy enough that it's pulling that bat through the, or that barrel through the zone. Ooh. Yeah, atomic feels good. You saw swings from both of us. I mean, sweet spot starts out hot. Again, he started around 255, if I'm not mistaken, so you kind of expect to be game ready. We'll go ahead, swap over to the Syndicate. We'll take some swings, as we mentioned, followed by the streets. Get that compression, or get that velo, and then we'll see where that compression, if it's holding, things like that. All right, for the Syndicate, this is our 12-inch barrel, half-ounce end load. So obviously the atomic was a full ounce and 13 inches, so we're going a little bit shorter, a little bit less on the end load, see how this thing performs. Our third swing off the top of our middle of the batter's eye. Ooh, off the hands for sure. Watch this though. Yeah, off the hands, and I know because it stung, and we just hit the fence out at like 340, 350. Well, I recommend hitting the barrel, but so far the 12-inch barrel's forgiving, but that's the first one that's really hurt, so I had to have caught it pretty low, I gotta imagine. We don't think we mentioned in the beginning, but these are all Pro-Am Razzos. Nothing crazy in there, no hardcores, no stadiums, any of those kinds of things out there. Yeah, just nice and easy with this barrel, nice and easy. Well, that one got out, all right. That one didn't feel as good as some of the rest. I think I caught it maybe a little high, but you didn't have that same kind of crack noise, and we carried out of here. I shouldn't say easily, but on a line, we still caught the bottom edge of that tree, so.
Yeah.
Car's in trouble.
Well, when you get a little bit of lift with this thing, that ball flies off the barrel. That was, Junior threw a cookie there, so that was pretty nice, but yeah, the ball's flying off this barrel. That's good enough. That one caught a little low and still, it's forgiving. For a 12-inch, definitely forgiving. You do get a little bit of sting on the hands, which you would expect when you catch it low, but no real big issue there. Barrel's performing great. Let's go ahead, we'll move on to the one-piece streets, and then we'll come back with velo from all of us. All right, the one-piece streets. So again, I saw Brandon Street swinging this a couple weeks ago at the Texas Legends. Sounded great. Obviously, he swings the bat great. So let's see how this thing performs. But one pieces have seemed to be kind of the craze lately in the USSSA game. So interested to see how this one feels. Again, 26 ounce, 12.5 barrel, 1 ounce end load. Yeah, I don't know how much more you want out of performance. Second swing, easily over dead center, so, but we're gonna call a quick pause. We got some people walking over there for some reason. All right, we're gonna continue this thing. We'll see how this goes. We've got, you can't really see it here, but there's a fast pitch field out to dead center, so whenever they're out there hitting, we obviously purposely avoid dead center kind of bombs as much as possible because, well, we don't want to hit anybody. But down the left field line, there's this big dirt area that for whatever reason people decide to park there, even though that field's got a designated parking area straight out there and left that would have no issues. And so they kind of came over and asked us to stop hitting the ball over there, and we explained that, hey, we paid for this reservation. There's a reason we only hit on Sundays currently out here in New Mexico, because it's the only day we can get a field. So We asked them if they'd want to use the regular parking lot. We're still going to I'm still going to try to avoid hitting obviously any cars here and there. We're going to cut the ball plenty. Again, we don't try to hit 1,000 home runs out here, but we're going to have to hit some in the air for the purpose of how does this bat perform with balls in the air and things like that. But hopefully we'll be able to push through the rest of this video without any more interruptions and get you kind of the rest of the reviews.
Yeah. What's up, hey? How you doing? Good hit.
Uh-oh.
Good shot.
This bat, the ball is absolutely flying off this barrel. Of the three, this was the highest starting compression as well. I think it started at 265, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere right around there. But these one pieces, again, if you didn't like them back in the day because the handles were real stiff, you got a lot of sting when you missed. I think a lot of the bats have kind of gone away from that. So far with this one, again, we're only about 10 swings in, but it's got great feedback, no sort of sting. I've only caught one a little bit lower, still no issue, and the ball is absolutely flying off the barrel. So,
All right. That's three more than that.
yeah, you feel almost nothing on the hands. Like you can tell that you're hitting it well, but there's just, and I don't mean it in a bad way, there's like no feedback on the hands. It's just nice and smooth through the zone. Ball just jumps off.
It sounds great.
Yeah, when you catch the sweet spot, it's a nice stiff feel, almost like a baseball bat, not quite as hard, and the ball just comes off. If you didn't try to pull that one, you probably would have crushed it. And pretty easy to control for a 1 ounce inload.
Sounds great, man.
Right up against the base of the fence on a line. Yeah, I think that meets our intent, to be 100% honest. Like, for a 1 ounce inload, it's pretty easy to, it's not pretty, it's easy to control, kind of do what you want with it, keep that bat level. 12.5 inch barrel, I think, for me, it's one of my favorites. Same thing as like the Kinetic. You get a little bit more forgiveness typically than those 12 inch barrels. The Brady, I think, from Louisville was a little bit of a different case where that one performed a whole lot better than a normal 12 inch. But either way, you get that extra forgiveness. Sweet spot's still incredibly hot like a 12 inch. And then with this one, the ball's just coming off this barrel great. Great feel, no sting. Excited to see what the velo does with these. Let's go ahead, hop over. You'll see velo, probably 3 to 5 swings of each of us. We don't want to have you here all day watching 100 velo swings, but just enough so you can kind of see the performance again and see the difference from that kind of sweet spot to the averages there. But that'll be posted up at the end so you can see with all three as well.
(102 miles per hour). 89 miles per hour. 105 miles per hour. 88 miles per hour. 84 miles per hour.
Slowly going down.
103 miles per hour.
That's not too bad.
105 miles per hour.
Yeah.
87 miles per hour.
Pretty much all when I got to Texas. I got to
106 miles per hour.
Texas. The 1 ounce inload.
94 miles per hour.
Whatever it is.
97 miles per hour.
And that was towards the handle, I think. Felt not great.
In that one.
88 miles per hour.
More?
105 miles per hour.
It's crazy how that.
82 miles per hour. 106 miles per hour. 105 miles per hour. 91 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour.
That was a miss.
92 miles per hour.
Technology, brother.
102 miles per hour.
Nice 102 knuckleball.
77 miles per hour.
Give me that one in your hand.
107 miles per hour.
Shit on that one, but
Well, like normal, one pieces are different, stiffer, speeds come off better, but all three did well. Let's see if any of them pass still. And by that I just mean 250, 255 is always a danger zone. 50, 60 swings with each. We'll see where they sit. Final compression. All right, let's see where our Anarchy's finished. Up first, the Atomic. Again, this is that 13-inch barrel, 1 ounce end load. All of these have about 75 swings on them now between field and velo. And they all started, I think, about 250 to 260, if I'm not mistaken. Let that sit on 0. And this one's sitting right on 240. So definitely kind of a game ready type of bat from the start anyways. We'll talk about more in the final thoughts, but it is still passing, which we like to see. Now for the Syndicate, 12-inch barrel, 1/2 ounce end load. Dial that up to 0. Same thing, this one's probably closer to 245 though, slightly over the 240 line, so we like to see that as well. And lastly, the Streets. This one was part of a one-piece video we did as well today, so this one actually probably has closer to 100 swings versus the other two having closer to 75. But we did let this one sit in the shade. Just for some reason it tests really real low. We'll let it sit a little bit longer because again, it had more swings, been out here a little bit longer. But there's our 0 mark. And right at 240, 245. So again, I can see this one going up 5, maybe 10 more if we let it sit a little bit longer. But either way, still passing right at 100 swings on the Streets, 75 on the Atomic and Syndicate. We'll talk about more in the final thoughts. All right, we're field swings, velo, and compression complete here with the ACX-7 Tech Anarchies. Again, that's the Atomic, Syndicate, and the one-piece Streets. And all in all, these had great feels to them, great sound. So starting with kind of the Atomic, which was only this one first, that 13-inch, 1 ounce end load. The ball jumped off it pretty much from swing number 1. Had a good feel on the sweet spot. It was relatively forgiving for sure. This is definitely one of those ones you could game right out of the wrapper. I wouldn't throw a ton of BP on it. Like you saw, we're right at about 240, 245 with 75-ish swings. So this is something you definitely want to game. For most of us out here, we all kind of agreed. This one felt better than the 12-inch, but once we got to velo, the 12-inch did perform better on the velo portion of it. So maybe it's just a longer barrel, gave us a little more forgiveness, whatever it was. But feels good, good sound overall. Would definitely recommend to somebody who's looking for kind of that heavier end load, longer barrel type bat as far as the Atomic goes. For the Syndicate, this one's giving you that 12-inch, 1/2 ounce end load. So not quite as much forgiveness as the Atomic, but the sweet spot, in my opinion, was hotter. Again, like we talked about with everyone else, we did get that extra forgiveness out of the Atomic, which I think is what caused people to like it a little bit better. But the ball does definitely jump off this one. Again, a great sound. Another one that you're going to want to pretty much just go straight from wrapper to gaming as best as possible. But who knows, maybe it will hold that 240, 245 mark for a long time. So at that point, you could BP it if you wanted to. But bats that start that low and perform like these are performing, I would make them gamers anyways. They're not really meant to put a whole bunch of BP on. And then lastly, we've got the Streets, the one piece. This is a 12.5 1 ounce end load. This one to me felt great. Definitely one of the better one pieces on the market currently, and you'll see a video here shortly with this one where we actually included it in our final kind of one piece showdown with a bunch of others on the market, and it definitely holds its own. So it has a great feel. No matter where you really catch it, you don't get any sting on your hands, which is great for these one piece bats. Sweet spot is definitely real hot, jumps off of there for sure, and then honestly relatively forgiving. For me, I think the 12.5-inch barrels are kind of the way to go anyways. That Kinetic from Monster, one of my favorites, is a 12.5. And then like for the Brady, I know it's a 12-inch barrel, but to me it plays a little more forgiving like you would expect from like a 12.5 and even almost a 13. And so with those, I think that's kind of the sweet spot right now for bats on the market. But if you're looking for a one piece that has kind of that traditional type of feel, so where the barrel's not soft, you've got kind of that nice stiff feel, but you're not getting a lot of sting, this is going to be the way to go as far as the Streets goes as well. So testing, I think it was still right at 250 if I'm not mistaken. So it does have a little bit of wiggle room either way, but another one you can game straight out of the wrapper, or you can BP it 50, 60 swings, get comfortable with it, and then roll from there. I know we've mentioned it before, but if you're going to BP any bats that are kind of game ready, I would recommend using 52s. It'll allow you to kind of save a little bit of those swings before you drop the compression, and also do kind of no damage to your bats, because obviously you want these to last as long as possible if you care about the compression piece of it. But all in all of these are great bats. I don't have a link for you for these ones, unfortunately, but I've got a good buddy, Travis Plank. If you know him, he's on Facebook, you can get with him straight there. If you need help getting his contact info, reach out to me. I'll get you his contact info. He'll get you squared away with anything you might need, whether it's an Atomic, Syndicate, Streets, something else, especially if we don't have the kind of link for it. So just get with me. I'll get you squared away. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Thanks for supporting the channel.